see you, friend. You just brighten up the room, especially with your knowledge here. So let's talk about this. A lot of first-time home buyers are, feeling a little, scary and frustrated about what's going on. So what are your tips? What are the options?
Yeah, it is scary out there, and a lot of people are opting for not vanilla mortgages. But with those exotic flavors, you want to make sure that you can take that flavor so you don't get financially sick. The first one to look at is an FHA loan, and this is for first-time home buyers. And this is for someone who doesn't have a bunch of savings in the bank or might still be working on their credit or doing a little credit rehab. They're very forgiving with your credit score, and you can get in for 3.5% down compared to 20% for a traditional mortgage. You just want to keep in mind that the max is $1 million for the most expensive areas of LA and New York. And also there's going to be insurance and other fees, so it could add to the overall cost of the loan overall.
$1 million gets you nothing in LA. Just a shell.
Not very much.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, for so many people, they're trying to get something. You can't really go back in time and get those old interest rates that everybody wants. What can you do right now?
The closest thing to time travel is an assumable mortgage. So this is where you, as a buyer, take on the whole mortgage shebang of the seller's mortgage. So their interest rate, those sweet, beautiful, low interest rates, the repayment terms, the amount of money on that mortgage. So if there's a discrepancy, though, between the purchase price and what's left on the mortgage, so let's say, for example, you buy a $500,000 house and there's $300,000 left on the mortgage. You're going to have to pay $200,000 to the seller because they already paid that into the mortgage. But if you can, then you get the $300,000 left on the mortgage for that beautiful, sweet, lower interest rate.
There's the old saying that says, don't mix business with pleasure. Well, a lot of family and friends are coming together and sort of pooling their resources to get into the housing game. Is that good advice?
Well, there's that adage, if you lend a friend money, decide what you want more, the friend or the money. And so I say no. No with the friend, but maybe with the stranger, because there are a lot of crowdfunding options right now. And this is not for your primary house, but this is for real estate investments. If you don't have enough money to spend on a real estate investment, you could put a little piece in for a slice of a real estate investment pie. You pick a platform online, you pick the amount you want to spend and the project. And if you do well, if that rental, let's say, does well, you get regular checks, or if that property sells, you could get a lump sum. But I don't want you to do this if you need this money. This is money that you can live without, because it does take a while to get that money back or for somebody to take over that
All
investment.
my friends are always like, hey, let's go in together. Let's do this. Let's get that. And you say,
this is a whole other segment.
Do you think, though, for people who are looking for houses right now, it does feel real overwhelming. Is there hope that you can find something that you can afford?
There is definitely hope, and also there's seller financing. These are rare deals, but instead of going through the bank, you can negotiate directly with the seller. And this is for people who might not qualify for traditional mortgages. They could get lower closing costs, potentially lower interest rates or deferred payments. But remember, if you're going to negotiate with seller Bob and not deal with the big bank, if something happens to seller Bob, then something happens to your mortgage and your house. So you just want to be careful with all these other options too. But there are other options.
Oh, Nicole, always with the good advice. Thank you so much. And you can check out Nicole's podcast, Money Rehab, available right now.
All right, folks, when we come back,